Hello, and welcome to DMG Scale Models. My name is Dan. I'll be your host for this build. The Ford Mustang SVT Cobra was a high-performance variant of the SN95 fourth generation Mustang that debuted for the 1994 model year. It featured additional exterior styling, performance, and handling over the Mustang GT. The SVT, or Special Vehicle Team, Cobra was initially only offered in a coupe, but soon after a convertible was added. Exterior features were a stylized front bumper and round fog lights, reflective headlights, hood, wheels, side rocker panel, rear bumper, spoiler, and dual exhaust outlets. For the 1996 model year, Ford retired the aging 302 cubic inch 5.0 V8 in the Mustang GT and SVT Cobra with a new aluminum 4.6 dual overhead cam modular unit that was smoother and had slightly better fuel economy. The Romeo engine, as it was called, produced 305 horsepower and 300 foot-pounds of torque, enabling the new Cobra to go 0 to 60 in 5.9 seconds and do the quarter mile in 13.99 seconds at 101.6 miles per hour. The modular engine's aluminum block was cast in Italy by Texid, a firm that produces parts for Ferrari and Formula One racers. SVT fitted the 1996 Cobra with the Borg-Warner T45 5-speed manual transmission. To promote the technological advances and mechanical achievements of this new modular engine, Ford introduced the Mystic Cobra for the 1996 model year, featuring a color-shifting paint formulated by BASF. Utilizing color-shifting chromaflare pigments from Flex Products, the Mystic paint shifted from green to amber to gold to purple, depending on the angle and the availability of light. The research and development process for this paint took 3 years to complete. Only available on the Cobra Coupe, the 1996 Mystic Cobra was the first production vehicle to wear a color-shifting factory paint job. A total of 1,999 Mystic Cobras were produced. This AMT kit, part number 8231, is a 1/25th scale skill level 2 kit, which contains 95 parts. I will start off this build by laying out the 95 parts for inspection and preparing for the assembly process. To start off the build, I assembled and detail painted the 4.6-liter Cobra engine. I prepped the body, then applied 2 coats of Duplicolor sandable hot rod black primer and allowed 24 hours to dry. I sanded the primer and applied 2 coats of Tamiya TS14 black and let dry for 5 days. This will be my base coat for my special top coat. Earlier, I mentioned the Mystic Mustang, so I decided I would recreate the custom paint using Tester's Color Shift paint in green copper. 2 coats were applied over the gloss black base. I think it looks pretty good. I placed the sway bar onto the chassis, assembled and detail painted the front suspension, and then placed that on the chassis as well. As with the front suspension, I assembled the rear suspension components and placed those onto the chassis as well. Once installed, I added the shocks and rear rotors to complete the suspension. I nestled the 4.6-liter Cobra motor onto its mounts in the chassis. This is a tight and precise fit. Here's the completed chassis with all its components installed. The radiator and cooling hoses were placed onto the chassis. Follow the instructions carefully on this step. I primed the interior parts with Tamiya's Fine Surface Gray Primer. I masked off the door panels and dash, then applied Tamiya's X18 Semi-Gloss Black. The rest of the interior components were painted a custom mixed tan color. Once properly detailed, I placed the interior pieces onto the chassis to complete the interior assembly. The wheel assembly instructions show the tires fit on specific sides as they are directional treads. The wheel assembly as is would cover up the rear rotor and caliper visibility, so I decided to modify the mounting piece so they would be visible through the rims. I assembled the wheel, used a fine-tip pen, blacked out the areas I wanted visibility, and used the markings as a template. I used my pin vise to make starter holes. Then I used my rotary tool to clean out the marked areas. So far, so good. This cleared out the holes and still left the hub intact. With those areas cleared, we can now see the rotor and caliper with the wheels installed. For the clear coat, I used Kaleido's gloss varnish. Several coats were applied. I will let this cure for several days. Once cured, I wet sanded any imperfections out, starting at 4,000 grit and continuing up to 12,000 grit. Meguiar's Ultimate Compound and Gold Class Carnival Wax were used along with my new rotary tool to restore gloss to the wet sanded finish. This worked out better than hand polishing for sure. To install the windows, I used Micro Crystal Clear. It is safe for clear plastics, easy to clean off mistakes, and it dries, well, crystal clear. I used it to install the taillights as well. I scraped the mounting surfaces and carefully attached the spoiler. The body fits super snug onto the chassis. Start from the front and work towards the back to settle it in place. Mirrors went on with no problems. Looks good. Now we can add the underhood accessories to complete the engine compartment. Headlights, fog lights, and the pony emblem will finish off the front end. And with that, the AMT 1997 Ford SVT Mystic Mustang Cobra is complete.